People want to show the message, release the messages, show the messages. What are we in second grade?
Wouldn't you like to be? Release the message.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Dr. Disrespect just did a stream where he responded to all the allegations against him for some reason. This all started around a month ago when he got caught allegedly doing some weird stuff with the minor in the Twitch Whispers, of all places. He found out about all this on a stream, and it was crazy to watch. Yeah, so after the allegations came out, he made a response, and it was a long-winded kind of explanation, and in it, he basically did confirm that he was texting a minor in the Twitch Whispers, and weirdly, he did change the wording. He changed minor to individual, and then later changed it back to minor. So in the public eye, Dr. Disrespect was kind of seen as a meme, and no one really took him seriously because it was kind of confirmed that he did talk to a minor. He still had some diehard fans. He was posting stuff kind of alluding to the fact that he was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers, even though he was obviously not really smart in this situation.
That's inexcusable. It's unacceptable, right? There's no excuse for something like that.
Yeah, as I said, Dr. Disrespect's public perception was not that good right now, and we had people like Nick830 putting their 2 cents in. Throughout this whole thing, Nick830 was kind of a whole freedom fighter for this. This stream that Dr. Disrespect did was supposed to be his moment to like prove everyone wrong and like get back into the public eye and have a good public image. We'll kind of see if he delivers on that. It began with like a little montage of his career and how he's built this career, and then he gets right into the accusations and like responding.
You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond.
So if you don't know, the guy who originally made the tweet calling out Dr. Disrespect was a former Twitch employee named Cody Connors. What Doc is basically insinuating here is that he stayed quiet while this ex-Twitch employee didn't keep his mouth shut and started exposing secrets that were supposed to be confidential.
Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Cody, why do this? What was the point?
Yeah, so Doc kind of questions why Cody would even be the one to be bringing this up 4 years later at that. And the real reason is pretty obvious when you think about it. He just wants clout. You know, Doc's name is big and Cody knows he can profit off that. He even goes on to make a post on Twitter about how if all of his dates sell out, he'll tell the reason that Doc was banned, which is pretty funny because that's definitely illegal. You definitely can't do that. Yeah, Doc goes on to make a good point that it is very click-worthy and it damages his reputation heavy.
And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. Well,
Doc is saying that the people trying to come out against him are only trying to damage his reputation. And it's pretty evident that that's true because it came out of nowhere. There was really no reason for them to say anything, and it just is very click-worthy, and I don't think you can deny that. He also really strongly implies that it's a whole group of people colluding against him, and I think the reason he sticks behind this narrative so strong is really important, and I'll get into that later.
It's so obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the Doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract. Go back and look at the timing of all this too.
So after claiming there's a whole group of people trying to take down his career, he finally gets into the meat and bones of the situation, you know, the whole reason the stream was even created. And he talks about the minor situation, and he says something really important, and I think the wording is important here too.
When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages?
So the wording here is really interesting, and he says that the person he was talking to is not a minor, or like that they never considered that the person may not be a minor. And after watching the whole stream, what he means by this is that the person in their place, like the place they lived, like either the country or the state, the age of consent was like lower. So it could be 16 or 17 most likely. And he only mentions this once and never really goes into it. And that's very purposeful because if he was really innocent and if he's a grown man, keep in mind, like he knows what he's doing is wrong. And that's the reason he stopped streaming and the reason he never talked about it. And if the whole situation was nothing, then he would have just brought up the logs by now, or someone would have brought up the logs and cleared this whole situation out. And while that's true, I think there is some suspicious stuff going on in the background to get him banned, and we'll get into that.
I even used the word inappropriate purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place.
While the contents of the messages might not have been that bad themselves, it's the context that's really bad, and Doc knows this. As a grown man, he knows he can't be just talking to anyone in the Twitch whispers and how dangerous that is. And he keeps referring back to this collusion going on in the background, and he's really using this as a safeguard to kind of protect the blame on him and saying, oh, look, the situation wasn't that bad. I shouldn't have been banned. Therefore, I did nothing wrong. When that's kind of a false equivalency because he did something wrong while maybe it wasn't something that should have got him banned.
On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with a Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. The Twitch user tells the ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch.
So this is when there is some genuine sneaky stuff going on in the background behind the scenes. I do kind of agree with Doc here. I don't think he's all making this up in his head. Anyway, this all starts with his ex-Twitch partner manager who has some control at Twitch and with Doc's channel. After seeing the whole process go through naturally with the victim not wanting to report it and make it a whole big deal, and with Twitch not yet finding any problem with it themselves, he was unhappy with how that went, and so he takes it upon himself to send it up to the higher-ups and send it to some news organizations and get it out to like some places like the SEC. And this just makes it a whole bigger deal. And I do kind of believe that without this guy, Doc would have never been banned.
He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. The LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM.
So it is pretty crazy that Twitch themselves did not have a problem with this, and it's all because of this one Twitch partner manager sending it up that Doc got banned. They even didn't really discuss anything with him. They never consulted him or the victim, which is actually pretty shocking and honestly probably not the best way to handle the situation. So I do have to be on his side a little bit, but that all kind of goes away when you watch this next clip.
And I'm not denying the exchange of whispers, champs. I'm not denying that to all of you out there. It looks bad. I have no way of knowing if the Twitch user thought our exchange of whispers was inappropriate. If it was, I apologize.
So at the end of the day, he did have the conversation with the person who is a minor. And while the person might not have been a minor in their own area, it's very obvious that this is a creepy relationship and a creepy conversation to be having. And he never really changes anyone's view on how the situation was, and he doesn't change anyone to his side. I'm sure people who were his fans before are still going to be his fans. However, this was obviously not very well received by people who weren't his fans. There's some tweets by like, oh wow, now that I'm looking at it now, I realize his name is Nick Merckx, not Nick A30. But there's some crazy tweets by Nick Merckx talking about the situation and just giving his 2 cents. And like I said before, there's just people asking to see the Twitch messages like Jake Lucky, and I think that's a very valid thing to be asking. That would really clear up the situation super fast. So anyways, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know. Subscribe if you want some more.